everyone, my name is Carolina Ruiz, and today I'm going to be doing the book summary on Hello Ruby Adventures in Coding by Linda Lucas. So, the main theme is Intro to Coding, relevant details. It's a children's book, it's a simple read for young children to understand coding and programming, and this is great for problem solving. This is my take on the book. I think it was an excellent book for all ages. It's not just for children, just because I read it and I thought it was a really easy read and I understood more about technological vocabulary. I'm not the best with technology, but the simple language and illustrations help me understand more technology-based language. The thesis. In this book, Lucas personifies technology to help children understand what coding is. And this is just the cover of the book. Summary of content. The book is based on the character Ruby, a young girl who goes inside of her father's computer to find his hidden gems. In this book, Ruby makes tons of friends through her voyage. Throughout the whole book, each chapter takes place in a new area that Ruby needs to solve a problem. After each chapter, Ruby has solved this issue. The reader gets to know about RAM, CPU, cursor, mass storage, etc. Ruby asks questions that most readers that do not know about technology have, and essentially, the book solves the problems as the reader's questions come up. So, for example, as I was reading through, let's say the cursor and the mouse were having some complications, and I was like, okay, what's going on? Ruby would ask the same question and then go through her voyage, ask her friends, and then that's how the problem would be solved, and then the reader would eventually work on it too. The book goes into step-by-step instructions on software and hardware as it developed. The book is a great step-by-step guide on how to code. Analysis and evaluation of the book. Theme. One of the book's themes is fantasy. This is, in my opinion, a great source to get children's attention. Coding is not something simple, especially not for kids. By a fantasy indirectly explaining the true meaning of technology is really interesting because this essentially makes it more interesting for kids to learn about. In other words, coding for kids, they're not going to just sit down and be like, okay, this is so cool. But instead, by making a fantasy, it makes it a lot easier to grasp their attention. Methods. I enjoyed that this book went step by step and explains technology vocabulary as good as it does, but my only critique is that the characters made inside jokes about Android and Apple, which can make it hard for a younger audience to understand. This is a great book if there is an adult to further explain the small details a child might not understand. Conclusion. Overall, this is a great read. I love the illustrations because it felt like it was inside my computer. After all, this is a children's book. I would not be able to explain to a child what coding is, nonetheless explain to them what hardware, software, algorithm, RAM, CPU, cursor, mass storage, and all the other technological terms the book used. As I stated before, the book has some ideas that would make a child have some difficulty to understand, but as long as there's an adult to further explain, I think this is a great book to understand knowledge for those of us who don't know much about coding. I also love that the book personified technology. Ruby had a literal mouse when referring to a mouse pad that computers have. I had a fun time reading this book and would definitely include it in a classroom for my future students to read. Thank you so much.